how are y'all doing? And yeah, I hope we've all not spent too much money on the run up to Christmas. Looking over there, yeah, I've done not too bad really. I'm steadying out a little bit. So yeah, this is the second time I've attempted this video. First time, my phone run out of storage space, and it didn't tell me until after I've recorded it, and it corrupted the file, so I couldn't even save it at all. So that was fun. So this second time, and it's not quite the same the second time doing it again, is it? So on the old beer again, on the old fancy hipster beer. I've nearly run out of this stuff. So what's this one? Double Apocalypse. So this is a nice 8.5% beast of a beer. So yeah, I think it's just a strong double IPA or something. So cheers guys. So this is just going to help me get through the video. Not bad, quite nice actually. So how shall we start this off? Right, well, we'll go for this first. This is what I forgot to show on the last time. I actually got this in the lot from Japan. And I got this, it's just a bit of an extra. Sometimes when you buy a few games, you add a few little cheapo things to it. And the thing in question is this ASCII pad, which is for the Super Nintendo. So it's still got like the little label on it there and everything. It's a little bit coloured and everything like that, and I think this cost like a £5 to add in. So yeah, I'm pleased with this. I've always been intrigued by this one-handed Super Nintendo pad. So it's got all the face buttons on the front there, and it's got a few back buttons there. This you'd predominantly use for an RPG, but it'd be pretty fun to use on Street Fighter. So I'd like to give that a go at one point. So yeah, I've already got the burps. Probably this beer thing's a bit of a mistake really, but enjoying my time off. So yeah, next up we'll go for all the modern stuff first. So first off, we've got, it might be a modern console, but it's a retro game really, and that is oh god, the glare's terrible. Tempest 4000. So well, it's actually a new game of Tempest. So I know Sega Zombie got this recently. He got the American version, and I've been waiting for the PAL one to drop for a while, and it did, and I just kind of put it off the radar. But this is a tenner. So I think it's 365 Games are selling this for a tenner at the moment. So if anyone's interested in this, I mean, why would you not be interested in Tempest? I mean, it's one of the best game series of all time, isn't it really? And for 10 quid you can't go wrong. So yeah, Jeff Minter's at his finest. Next up, just because it was cheap, and I've been looking for, I was waiting for this to drop for quite some time actually. I think it was out for the PC for about a year before it came out over here. Well, over here for the PlayStation 4. I've just undone the bloody disc doing this. Right, it's loose. Gonna have to open this now. And that game is Space Hulk Deathwing. Now this looks like what's it called? The zombie game on the Xbox 360, Left 4 Dead, where you've got like a bit of a team of game players, and you go out and kill a lot of things. And I thought the graphics on this looks absolutely amazing. So I'm really into the sort of, if I play a shooter, it's got to be sort of like in fantasy realms like this. And I've always enjoyed the Space Hulk sort of like fantasy setting. So I'm looking forward to playing this, and I think that was like a tenner as well. Next up, two games that came together, and I ordered these in January and they've only just come out. Well, they've only just been shipped to me now, and the reason is because of this one here, and it is Celeste on the PlayStation 4. So this is a limited run game, number 207. Flipping out, they've been going through a lot. But yeah, so there was an open pre-order in like January for like a whole month, and I pre-ordered it, and it just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed because they was putting on some of the DLC on disc on this. So I'm hoping it's worth it. It's a game that looks really good. It's like a 2D platformer. So I love all these like 8-bit sort of games. So I imagine it's not going to be too expensive if you need to buy it like a game, because it wasn't like a limited number. It was an open pre-order, and I can imagine a lot of people have ordered quite a few of these because you can buy them in boxes. So yeah, cool ones again. It's got a bit of weight to it, so I can't wait to open that and give that a go one point. And here's the little art card that comes with it. I'm sure there should be a little card as well, but I probably lost that. And also, what got held up with it is Sundered, which has got a terrible back on. The back is just terrible. Look at that. There's no artwork on it, or it just says Sundered. So that's a lazy release, really. But I mean, the artwork looks really cool if you can see it past the glare and everything like that. I played Jotun, which is the first. I don't know if it's the first one in this series, but it's by the same publisher. Producers as this. So I really enjoyed that. It was a very minimalistic sort of like Zelda-y clone. It wasn't really like Zelda, but it was just like over the top sort of like look and really stylized. But yeah, this is in the same style as that. I'm not too sure if it's a sequel or just, yeah, as I say, by the same publisher. Next up, we're going back a generation now. Everything's going back now, I suppose, yeah. So I was talking about this on when I did my PlayStation 3 collection. I did actually mention this quickly, that I really wanted to get it. As I said in there, I had it on my eBay saved search list, so you can only get 100 of them, and this has been in there for like a couple of years, just waiting for that right price to come up. It's not particularly rare. It probably comes up once every other month, so it's not like the rarest, but it seems to come down to quite a price. However, I put a cheeky bid in this and I got it for 15 quid, and the game in question is Dynasty Warriors Gundam Reborn. Now this is a PlayStation 3 exclusive game. You can get the Dynasty Warriors Gundam games on the 360, but the Reborn one is only on the PlayStation 3. And what's good about this is it's sealed. But then I say good, it's also a bad thing, because I wouldn't mind actually playing this at one point. But now this is keeping the value. The seal is keeping the value, and it makes me not want to open it. So this is it's such a conundrum for us collectors to get sealed games. Right. Anyway, next up. A bit of an oddity out of the way. I picked up, this is my last thing I've actually got, this is the latest thing I've picked up in this video, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles basketball LCD game. So if people know, I collect all these Konami LCD games. These are predominantly the biggest collection I have. I think I've got, including this one, I think I've got 7 or 8 of these in this shape of Konami games. So I've got the first 2 Turtles, and now I've got this one, which is one that you don't see at all. I'm just missing the third one now, TMNT 3. So really looking forward to eventually finding that and completing that little subset. And then I'll be going on to getting the rest of the Konami ones. There's Top Gun ones, Star Trek ones I'm still looking for. The ones I'm looking for are actually some of the easier ones. So yeah, really cool to get. The seller said it doesn't work, but I put some batteries in, and oh yeah, it doesn't work the first press, but the second time you press it, it does, and it makes that annoying noise that everyone hates probably. So yeah, happy with that. Next up, what shall we do? We've got these PlayStation 1 games, right? So. First up, we are on. Right, we'll start with this one here. So I got a random package the other day, and it was basically a Meat Feast pizza box, and I was like, "Is someone trolling me here? Like, is someone sending me something?" Like, because I can't remember buying anything at all, and yeah, so I don't really eat meat too much. It's not something I go for. I pretty much stick like vegetarian, vegan and stuff like that. So I thought one of the guys has sent me something funny, and I was like, who sent me this? And everyone was like, no, not me. And then so I decided to open it up, and lo and behold, inside was Austin Powers Pinball. So yes, I think I did a bit of a drunken purchase on the old eBays on the weekend. So it's all complete and everything. Got like the registration card and everything. And I've not done too bad for a drunken purchase. I think it was like £3. posted. So how can you go wrong for £3? And plus, as you've all been seeing, I'm kind of going for a bit of a pinball collection. So yeah, adds nicely to it. And from that, it made me go and look for a bit more pinball games, and I found this, which is Big Race USA, which is part of the Pro Pinball series. There's quite a few of these Pro Pinball games. Again, this was one I did another cheeky bid for. Comes with the manual. It's a bit of a beastly manual, really, for a pinball game. But yeah, like I really enjoy playing these games. I'm assuming this is just one table, but and it comes in high res graphics. It says, points to the table. So yeah, I'm looking forward to eventually playing this. Again, I think this is about another £3 purchase. And then yeah, so what was I doing? Yeah, so I've got a bit of a theme coming along in the next few pickups here. So basically, I was going over to my parents, and on the way I just did like loads of stops. First up, I went over to Sheffield, and I went into the Game and Movies, and I picked up 2 Extreme. Basically, I didn't want to leave there without picking something, so I got something that was quite cheap. This was a tenner, but I looked on eBay like as soon as I got home and found out this was £3. You could get this for about £3-4. But it's one I've been wanting. It's part of the ES. I remember having ESPN games on the PlayStation 1 when I was a kid, and I really loved it. I was a rollerblader, so it had rollerblading in. You don't find many games that had rollerblading in back then. So yeah, I know this is the sequel to it. So yeah, looking forward to playing this eventually. It doesn't look as good as the original. The original was, I mean, that was just a classic, really. And while I was over there, on the way over to my parents, I've stopped off at Daz Cojones, and he was testing a game out for me. I gave it to him over at Blackpool. It's for the Neo Geo, and I don't have one, so it had a few scratches on the disc. So he took it over and tested it, and it all worked fine, which was pretty cool. So I went over to pick it up, and while I was over there, he made me want to spend a fortune on all these little gadgets that he had for his Mega Drive and everything. If you watch his latest video, it'll talk about it. But while I was over there, I bought a couple of things off him, and the first off, which was brilliant because I was hoping to have got this on the Saturn. I actually had this in my basket for £50, ready to buy, ready for when payday came, and he did me an absolutely stellar deal on the PlayStation 1 version instead. So that game is Time Boken, or Boken to Apitsu Dorenbo. So I think there's 2 of these. This one is the cheaper one, and I know the sequel I think come out in PAL territory as well, which is Time something. So, well, the game's not in it. So if you was watching my last video, but a lot of people was thinking that there was some cat sounds in the background. It was actually this game playing in the background because I was ready to play it and I actually completed it. This is a great game. So this is a nice, colourful shooter on the PlayStation 1. And how you actually play it, it starts off with 6 different like tanks or ships or whatever, however you want to see it as. So you've got them, and every time you complete a level, it forces you to use a different ship. And halfway through, you get an extra 3 to choose from. Which is an awesome game. So first time round, I didn't quite complete it. The second time round, I completed, and yeah, such a great game. Not the hardest, but it's got a challenge to it, and it's really cool. It's really colourful and quite fun, really. And I say, when something forces you to like change how you play, I think that's quite a good thing. So as well, while I was over there, he just had a big bulk stack of PC Engine games, and in that stack I asked him, have you got anything that you're willing to sell, something a bit shitty, just so I can test my PC Engine out. And he had this game, and I don't know what it is. I can't remember what it is. I think it was a strategy game. So popped it in on my PC Engine, and it does work. It doesn't. I think it's more of a problem with my TV. The screen doesn't seem to be very centralized when I put it through the RF cable. but it actually plays, which is pretty cool. I do want to be getting an RGB mod for it eventually, so, or another PC Engine. But yeah, this is really cool to have. And of course, when you buy something for the first time, it comes in freeze. And one of my other friends, he semi collects PC Engine, and he had a few loose Hue cards lying around, so he sold me a couple. First up, we've got R-Type Part 1, which obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious, but on the PC Engine, it was split into two parts. Because I guess it didn't fit onto one of these Hue cards. There was a complete version on the CD, but obviously I think, well, I'm saying obvious, but only if you know, the soundtrack was completely changed. So this is sort of like the best way to play it, although you have to play it over 2 games. So it gets a bit costly in that respect. And then we've got Black Tiger, which is a helicopter shooter, I think, if I remember correctly. So that's pretty cool, and I've kind of stolen a bit of an idea. I've got a, what's it called, business card holder. So from this I can now put my games in here like this. I've got a nice little display, so if I do collect these, I will be just getting Hue cards, because I don't have, the nostalgia's not there for me for collecting reasons for it. I want to play them. That's the main thing, so I would rather get just these cheap cards. I just love the look of these cards. Look how cool they are. So yeah, that's what I got while I was in Sheffield. And well, I actually got something else while I was in Sheffield. So while I was over there was a Burger Time LCD game that was in a little box, and I sent a picture of like the store to like some of my friends, and someone said, really looking for that Burger Time LCD. So what we did is I picked up that LCD game for him, and basically the price that we paid for that was less than the game loose, and it basically came with a box, which is a bit ropey. The box is a bit ropey, but it came with instructions as well. So he got a fantastic deal, and I got a great deal as well, because he sent me these things here. One thing we already had we was working out anyway. I was just waiting for payday. So we just worked it out through like a bit of a trade. So yeah, first up I got myself Turok 2. This is part of the trade that we did with each other. So this is in great condition. It looks like it again. And I hate these games that look so good. It looks sort of fake. But you can kind of tell it's not fake, because I don't know if you can see there, but like this is all like rippled. So I don't think you can fake that. You would never be able to. It would cost too much for a faker to do it. So what's cool about this is one of the black cartridge ones. Comes with a manual, and the interesting thing about this, which you don't see too often, I have looked on eBay, and I don't think there was one on eBay, to be honest, sold or not sold. We've got a 4-track soundtrack on CD for Turok 2, and it's not just something that's been randomly put in there. By the look of it, there's a little sticker on the front, if anyone noticed, and that says contains audio CD exclusive to Dixon stores. So yeah, something that you don't see, again, you don't see that every day. And now I've put that away, he actually included this box protector, which is why it's in such good condition. Put that in the wrong way around. So yeah, I remember playing Turok 1, and that absolutely blew me away. It's a bit strange because I was playing Doom and stuff like that, which was such more of a competent shooter, but I think playing it with that thumbstick just made it like so much better. And again, with that, we got this Turok 2 strategy guide, which I think this is the first Nintendo 64 strategy guide I've got, actually. So it's really cool to have all these old strategy guides, and this is in like perfect condition. It's not been used, and I did flick through this earlier, well, not earlier, like a while ago now, and it has a few pages for the Game Boy game. So strategy for the Game Boy game, and it was quite funny. I think level 1 it's best not to fight any more than you have to. So basically, just jump over everything. So how many game? Well, it doesn't sound like a great gameplay if all you're doing is jumping over everything. And the thing that I've been wanted the most out of that is out of the trade was the Master System converter in box. Now it doesn't come with a styrofoam or anything, but it does come with this, and this is what I've been wanting for a while. I did mention it to like people, and he was like, "Well, I'm decided I'm selling up a few of my Master System stuff, so I've got this." Box isn't the best of condition. There's a few dings there and everything, but generally not too bad really. And I've got a few Master System games, and I've been wanting to play them because I sold all my Master System stuff ages ago when I was on my PlayStation 2 kick. But I don't want to get another Master System because I've not got the space for it. So this is a great like middle ground. Now I can put this on my Mega Drive and it just saves space. So great to have. So looking forward to getting some more Master System games now. So yeah, we're nearly there. Another game that I bought from someone else was discussing how I don't really collect Nintendo anymore, and I only have NTSC American carts now. So I got a great price on Adventure Island for the NES, or as other people know it as on the Sega side, Wonder Boy. So yeah, it's the same game, different branding by different people. This is the Hudson Soft version, not just the Nintendo. So yeah, cool to have. I love this game, but how can you not love Wonder Boy? So great to add to the collection. And because I was talking Burger Time for a bit after I bought that LCD game, I only went and bought flipping Burger Time for the NES. I've never played this before. Like again, this is another American one, so it'll be intriguing to play. Really, it's got a bit of a dink on the top, and I did probably pay it over the odds for this one, just because I was getting hyped up for the old Burger Time. So yeah, I think I paid 10 quid for this, and then a couple of extra quid for postage. So as I say, probably a bit too much really. It's the most I've spent for a cart for a long time. So yeah, I needed a bit of a drink. And next up, we've got Facebook purchases, which is the first time I've done this for a long time, and it's actually the first time I've done a marketplace one where it's not been from like a retro video game group. And yeah, I've got two minds about this one. Got some great deals. Let's say we've got some great deals. First up, we have got Warzone, which is sort of like a commando style shooter where like you walk around shooting. Basically, everyone knows it. I'm sure everyone knows what commando is. But yeah, this is by Core Design. This isn't one I had as a kid, but I have seen it like over the last few years, and it's always been intriguing me. But the price has always put me off, and this seller had all his games up there for 20 quid each, which for the most part there was way over the odds, but for probably about a quarter of them there was a bargain. They had in fact, I won't say anything because it might spoil possible pickups for someone else, because Cinny Steve actually I bought these two, and I did actually put in an offer for some others, but he said he'd sold them. So I put a little message out, and Cinny Steve said, "Yeah, you're too late, mate. You're not fast enough. I bought them last week." So Steve has got like some absolutely belters there before me, but I don't know how he's left these behind really for some reason. And the second and last one I got from him was Gauntlet 3, which is a flipping 20 quid. This is a brilliant price. The only problem is it come with one disc. Now the funny thing is, I kind of knew this was going to happen beforehand. The reason why is because Steve was, I've got my disc, I've got all my stuff, and I've got these two extra Gauntlet discs. So they came over, and I've been trying to message the seller, but he's been a bit evasive. So I've been trying to get a bit of extra money so I can put it towards towards Steve, so he can send it across, and a bit extra for him for his troubles and everything like that. But I mean, I've not got an Amiga, so I don't mind waiting until Arcade Club or Doncaster or what other, there's quite a few events coming up I think next year, so I'm sure we can do a deal swappage then. So the last two, and we're on the Sega Saturns. We're back on the Sega. How can we have a video without going to the Sega Saturn? So first up, I attempted this a couple of months ago from the old CX, and I got bit because the disc was rubbish, there was no manual, and the case was absolutely dog-eared. Now this one, it's not perfect, but it's quite good condition, and I got this from the old eBay, and this cost me 35 quid, which if you know this game, that is an absolute bargain. But condition is in stellar condition. There is a manual to it, which is a bit of a beast for a Saturn game really. So that's in quite good condition. It's definitely been used, definitely been fingered and thumbed. The disc is in okay condition. There's a few scratches on it, but nothing deep or anything like that. I'm quite confident that it'll work quite well. But yeah, great condition, and for 35 quid I'm quite pleased. The only problem is, which I didn't notice on the old picture, it's only when it's come, there's obviously been a price sticker there, and someone's done something. I'm quite impressed by what they've done. They've done some artistic content there. So I don't know if you can tell, but if you zoom in there, they've done some done some cool stuff here. So basically they've painted over on the box black, and then they've like kind of chipped away, like taking the paint off, like I don't know, scraped off the black, just to make the Y. So on a picture when it was like that, it just looked like normal, but obviously when it comes, I don't know, you probably can't even tell like that, just maybe. And then they've put some sellotape over it, so it sort of makes it glossy again. So yeah, I mean, I don't care. For 35 quid, this is one of the games that I really wanted for the Saturn. So for that, I'm quite pleased. And right, I've got to take a sip for this one. This is one I've been wanting since I've been getting my Saturn again. One I didn't have on the Saturn because basically I had it on the Super Famicom before, so I didn't think there was any need for me to get it again. But obviously when now it's nostalgia times, I want all my old games again. And I was speaking to Dylan about this, and he actually made me realise that it is definitely worth getting. And that game in question is Parodius on the Saturn. Now I've actually got this on the PlayStation 1, and that's why I didn't think about getting it for the Saturn. But what really swung it for me when I was speaking to Dylan is it's actually two games. You've actually got two of the games on here. So it's probably a cheaper way to get it than even getting the two separate ones for the Saturn, for the Japanese Saturn. So the manual is in absolutely perfect condition. Disc is perfect as well. The only problem is there's a couple of things missing from this spindle. So that is the only downfall. But it seems to hold it in place. It was, I mean, as good as a Sega Saturn one can. I've just did a dodgy close of that and it's still in place by the sound of it. So yeah, if you know me, I love my Parodius. I love Parodius games. So absolutely buzzing to get this. What can I say about this? It's just crazy space parody shooting. So what a way to end this video anyway. One of my favourite game series and for the Saturn. So my Saturn's collection now, I'm so pleased. I only started it this year, and if you can see behind me here actually, these are all Saturn games. So done really well, to be honest. And one of my favourite, it's been my favourite system to collect for a long time, more so than the NES back in the olden days. I just love to go completely wild, but I'm just trying to pick and choose games that I know I'm going to play, and that, I think that's the key to it all really, isn't it? Not wasting too much money on games that you're not going to, even though I've just got this, which I will play it, but I think that was a bit of a waste of money, but never mind. But yeah, anyway, this is what I've got, so hope you all enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, bye.